All right. You ready to make this magic happen?
Woo! All day, every day.
Yeah. You're listening to Two Dimensional Champions, and this is Julian, or Julalian.
I am Fatinator!
You never responded when I trolled your Twitter last week.
I didn't know I got a message on Twitter.
So you can find me on Twitter at Julalian at Selkuth Comics. And do we have any emails or anything like that? Or
nope.
I don't think we've gotten any more comments or anything like that. So if we haven't gotten any emails, that means we're just doing shows.
We just do whatever we want. Screw you guys. We're not part of your system.
But if for some reason you would like us to be part of your system,
right. We will gladly join.
We will happily join. And you can send those requests or what you'd like to hear us talk about, as long as it's related somehow tangentially to anime and manga or whatever, to what's that email address again? I should probably have this shit written down. But
it's 2dcrequest@gmail.com.
Nice. Oh, you're so good, dude. You're so good.
Yeah, man.
So today we're going to be talking about Haikyu, which is actually the second season of it is running right now on Crunchyroll. But we're going to be going back and watching, and oh my god, English. We went back and watched the first 5 episodes of season 1. This first aired in April 2014, and yeah, so I figured it'd be. I think this is our first sports series, right?
Yeah, I think so. I've watched Ippo before, but we've never recorded anything on that.
Yeah. I've seen some stuff too, but in terms of what we're recording, so the Haikyu the anime is based off of the manga of the same name by Haruichi Furudate, and it's published in Shueisha's Weekly Shonen Jump. For some strange reason, it's not published in the English version of Weekly Shonen Jump, although Viz has the rights to the manga, and the first volume of the manga is coming out in America in July, or on July 5th specifically. Interestingly enough, Viz also has the rights to Kuroko's Basketball, which they're also going to be putting out, I think, in August.
It was also a good show. Oh, I really like the manga, but from what I saw of the show, I just saw the fight scenes, but that was really solid.
Oh yeah, and so it really goes to show you sports manga, I think, was basically dead here in the United States for a while, and now it really shows you how popular Haikyu and Kuroko's just have been, that it's getting licensed and it's coming out. So the Blu-ray set of Haikyu of the season that we've been watching is available now on Amazon. It was licensed by Sentai Filmworks, so you can buy the anime right now. And increasing the correlations between Kuroko's Basket and Haikyu. Both of them are animated by Production IG, and everybody should know that name from Ghost in the Shell and Attack on Titan. And
oh wow,
well, they co-produced Attack on Titan, but yeah. So anyway, it's they've done hundreds of awesome shows, and they're great. So what's cool is actually, and one of the first things I really liked about both what I've seen of Kuroko's Basketball and especially what I like about Haikyu is Production IG, and I guess this is just because since it's produced by the same studio, I've not really seen a studio do this format with the shonen series quite like this before, but I like how they split the seasons up, so you get 25 episodes a year or something, more or less, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a great idea. You just keep the animation quality really, really crisp. It gives it a break. You don't have to do fillers. You give time for the manga to speed ahead. And I know there's been at least 3, 4 seasons of Kuroko's Basket, and they've, I think, covered the whole manga. This is a format I think really should be picked up by
everyone. Wait, so when you say 25 a year, I think that's like normal time, right? Or what do they normally do?
Well, like One Piece and Naruto, they would just run every week straight. So they would go into lots of fillers, they would drag stuff out. Animation quality would go up and down in kind of big roller coaster dips.
Right.
Yeah, or like we'll get 12 or 13 episodes or 25 and then that's it. We'll never get into second season or anything like that. So I just like this format. I actually think they did that with Bakuman a few years ago. They split that into 2 seasons, or 3 even. So I just like it. I think it works well. I don't know.
1 second. I was hearing myself echo down the hallway, so I had to go shut my door. I don't know if you guys can hear me echo down the hallway, but it kind of freaks me out, especially when you have like headphones in and you can hear yourself echoing. Freaks me out, man. So
yeah, it's not because your place is haunted at all. Yeah. So
why would you say that, man? Why'd you just like plant that in my mind? You know, all those other times, it's like I thought I was like snuggling with a pillow. What if it's a ghost
with a boner?
Right? Things just got weird.
It's like, is that ectoplasm or what is that?
And why is it all over my face?
Yeah, my legs. Weird. It's so weird. So yeah, that covers my intro for the show. So what'd you think?
I don't do sports, but I fucking love this anime. And it really makes me conflicted. I don't want to be like that out of shape guy that just gets really excited about people who are passionate and in shape and stuff like that on the television screen. But god damn, this was a good thing though. Like, I really enjoyed it. And I was really surprised that I enjoyed it because LOL volleyball.
Yeah.
But it's like what it really is about is people who are really passionate about something, and it has really good character development, and there's a lot of different personalities, and those personalities clashing or trying to get together and stuff like that, and it's entertaining. It's really entertaining. I started watching, like, I meant to watch an episode at like 2 o'clock in the morning or something like that. I watched all 5. Could barely stop myself from watching 6. You know, like, I could have like not slept and finished the series, and then we were like recording now, and I'm trying to do the whole season. Like, it's ridiculously entertaining. So to me, at least.
Oh, I agree. I really like it, and I'm not. I don't. Even sports anime has been really, in manga, it's been usually pretty hard for me to really get into. And I've tried stuff like Slam Dunk, and I thought it was good, really good, but. Just not my thing usually. But Haikyu is, I mean, you hit the major points. I mean, it's beautifully animated. It's really well
animated. And the sound too, like when they're like hitting the ball or whatever, like, well, there's this like one scene where he's like slamming on the ground and then it bounces off against the wall, and then he just like keeps on doing that pattern. It just sounds satisfying.
Yeah, it just sounds good.
Yeah. Just like, yeah, when he's like, this feels good, this sounds good, you're like, yeah, it does. Yeah. While you're eating potato chips and whatever, like, it's wild.
Yeah, I mean, it really it fires you up. It really, I think, does it's like quintessential shonen done perfectly. You've got the great rival character. I think one of the best rival main character relationships, I think, that I've seen in a long time.
Yeah,
it's really cool how they work that.
And it's like, and the thing is like, as a viewer, you can sort of see how similar they are, but they've got just like little different personalities, which makes them shoot off. But they're coming from the same place, and you're like, Oh my god, they just both like love like the game so much, you know? Like they both just want to keep winning so they can keep playing cuz they love the game, you know? And then this guy's like, "Oh, well this like my position's the best." Like, "No, my position's the best." And they have like both of their reasons. You're like, "God, like these are people who are obsessed." You know?
I think that conversation really really underlined just how good their interactions were. Yeah.
Whatever.
Because, it's like, well, your position is only cool because, I mean, you can't spike the ball unless I give it to you, unless I pass it to you.
Right.
And I thought that was a really cool way of, like, describing, essentially of representing their relationship, because it's they're rivals, but at the same time, they need each other to complete the, how badass it is on a whole. You know what I mean? Like that. So that was really cool, and I love how all the different characters all get these little moments where you really get to you really get to feel like you know them.
Right. Well, they really just show their personality. Like Tanaka, just like, why? He's like ripping off your shirt and spinning it around. Like even when they walked up, I wouldn't even consider this a spoiler. When they were like Tanaka, make sure you don't try to intimidate him. He was like, why would I try to intimidate him? Why would I do something like that? He's like, listen, you punks, and it's just like pulling him back. God, it's just so funny.
Yeah, and it just with such a huge cast, one way the series could fall apart is if just the characters aren't memorable or everything's not exactly in place. And what's amazing about this show is it's so well orchestrated that everything really comes together beautifully. Stuff is set up really well. You remember all the characters, even if you don't remember their names. I mean,
I never remember anyone's name, so it's like that's no different for me.
I know, yeah. I mean, that says a lot for it. So yeah, I think it's fabulous. And who would you recommend the show to?
I can't. I'm actually curious as to who wouldn't enjoy it, because I would classify myself as someone who wouldn't enjoy the anime, and then I enjoyed the anime. So I don't know. I don't know who wouldn't like it. I would just say like check out an episode. Let me know, and if you don't like it, cool. Let me know why. One thing that I wanted to complain about with this was I wanted to say that the pacing was slow, because for the first 5 episodes, not a lot happened. But the way that they developed all of the characters and the way they had little quips, I didn't give a fuck how slow it was going, because it was entertaining the whole way through.
Yeah, and it's so jam-packed full of small details that make it really fun. You don't notice it. Yeah. You really don't. I mean, with the humor and all the different characters that are being introduced and the conversations, and also the drama, they just really play it up really well. You really feel, and we'll get into it more in a minute. But yeah, I mean, I think, like you said too, I would be really curious to see why somebody wouldn't like the show. Because, I mean,
because I wouldn't like the show, and then I liked it,
Yeah, so it really just knocks it out of the park. I guess that's a baseball reference. What's the closest volleyball?
Spiked it hard.
Yes.
Jumped real high. I don't know. Because I don't watch volleyball.
Yeah, because I don't know either. And I guess everywhere else in the world takes volleyball seriously, except the States, where it's just kind of seen as like something girls play in tight-fitting outfits.
Yeah.
That was the conception I had of volleyball prior to watching the show.
Like there's like a Dead or Alive volleyball.
Yeah, that was like the most I knew about the game. Oh, I'm so glad you brought that up. Oh, that's great. I hadn't thought about that in years.
Yeah.
They did like 3 of those, didn't they?
I don't know.
They had like a bunch of those. Isn't there a new Dead or Alive coming out?
Wait, are you talking about Dead or Alive or Dead or Alive volleyball? Because they actually had like a specific volleyball. Yeah. Which was just
actually both. I was thinking about the volleyball game at first, and then my brain sidetracked into, aren't they doing just a new Dead or Alive game?
Probably.
Like, probably, yeah.
These guys are shameless.
Yeah. So shall we get into the nitty gritty?
Yeah, we'll start breaking it down. I don't think that we've like seen enough for there to really be considered spoilers, but I just I guess more in depth.
I mean, spoilers. They join the volleyball club. I mean,
right.
That's really
like that's pretty much all that's happened in the first 5
Yeah.
episodes.
Yeah, and I'll probably jump around a lot too because I just found it to take like there's just stuff that stood out to me, but I don't know. I think we can just kind of jump around. Because...
Yeah, the joy in this is really just in like the little quips and the interactions, which is kind of hard to translate when you're like referring to it. But
yeah, because I'm actually gonna have to watch myself in the notes because a lot of it was like, this was really funny, this was really funny, that scene was really funny. Like, I'm reading
it's
it. It's
really
like,
funny.
Great, yeah.
it's true. Like,
so one thing I really enjoyed about episode 1 is you really get it's really interesting how they did this, but thanks to the editing and the way the pacing of the episode worked and the script writing and all that, you really get a great feel for how hard Hinata works and how long it took him to get to where he is.
Dude, the guy was like, what have you been doing the past 3 years? That was intense. And another thing too was it was like he almost, the way he said it, like Hinata, I think, took it as an insult, but I think Kageyama meant it as a compliment.
I think so too.
Which is kind of wild. And that was never clarified, but I really think Kageyama kind of was like, where the fuck have you been? How come I've never seen you? That was ridiculous.
Yeah.
And he was like, I haven't done enough. Like, I'm not strong enough, like.
Yeah, I took it as a compliment too.
Yeah.
With the way he phrased it. But he's
also such a tight ass, they wouldn't be like, no, I meant that as a good thing.
I'm just not going to clarify that.
Fuck you, man! I worked really hard! It's like, okay.
Yeah. I really got to get the point across. Is like, I really thought the pacing was really well done. Because there's a lot of shonen series where, and a lot of movies do this too, where it's like, you just don't feel like it took them a while. You just don't feel the passage of time. You know what I mean? It's like when it's like 3 weeks later, it's just a word on the screen.
Sort of like montage flashbacks and stuff that I thought they did really well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I really just felt like by the end of the first episode, when he gets to the club, you really feel like he has worked fucking hard and long to get here.
Yeah,
and he's earned it. Like, you really feel like in a lot of first episodes, there's like something cool happens, there's a fight, you get a sense of like the world and all that. But
do you know what I like? I really liked that he missed his first dunk.
Oh, yeah.
When he was playing against the other team, and just like, he was like, I got this is going to be great. It had the slow-mo, the slam, then boom, rejected.
Yeah.
And it was like, I just, like it's good that you're like, okay, you can play with the feels a little bit, like he lost the first game. Yeah, the other team won, then the other team lost. So it wasn't like it's sort of shown that they can see defeat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, I think it's interesting that obviously because it's a sports anime and all that, the main, I guess the biggest importance is placed on winning or losing, but I actually get the feeling from how the story is written that there's so much more about what they do than just winning and losing. So you really get taken through like the small, like these, like him missing the shot or something like that. You really get taken through these like kind of actually almost how you would think about it if you were on the court or something like that. You get taken up in the small battles, like that mean a lot.
Right. It's the steps to victory. But something that they were saying before was victory isn't like, the way it's portrayed isn't defeating the enemy. It's being able to play more. If you win, you can play the next game. If you win again, you can play the next game. If you lose, you get knocked out for the rest of the tournament, for the rest of the whatever. You can't play anymore that day. So, that's a pretty good distinction.
I think that's a good way of putting it.
And I know Kuroko no Basketball definitely played with some feels like later on, like Like they were not a we beat everyone team, you know. And I have a feeling that this is the same sort of thing. That like there'll be times when you really want them to win and they're gonna lose because the other people that they're playing against try really hard too, you know, or are really good and really talented, even though you're spending all your time with this team, and that's important, you know.
Yeah, and I just like it too that you really get into the characters enough too, where there's not really so far that I've seen, there's not really a character who's truly bad or truly good. Like everybody kind of has their weaknesses and strengths, but you really, I don't know. I just enjoyed everybody. They're you know.
You know what character I think is like super interesting is the Tsukishima, the blonde guy with the glasses, because he's sort of presented like he's tall, but like blonde hair, glasses. That's kind of like a nerdy, sort of like soft, whatever spoken dude. He's not like that at all. He's sort of portrayed as like an asshole, but it's like for different sort of reasons, you know, like he's just a little different. But you know, like we haven't seen much of his character, but you can sort of tell that I feel like he's a fleshed out character. He's got layers.
I've seen a few episodes from season 2,
How dare you.
and I know, yeah, and he gets a nice arc in that season.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Oh, it might even be all the way to season. I mean, it takes a while. Like the passage is slow of like the progression.
Yeah,
but it's fucking good.
You know? It is, yeah. Yeah, Tsukishima, I think is a great character too because he kind of throws some cold water on the leads, you know, because everybody else is like so pumped, you know, for playing volleyball and stuff.
Yeah.
And he kind of takes.
What did he say? He's like, you know, if you guys want to, because they've got to like compete in order to like get in, which was like awesome the way that like all of that went down. I liked the equation when he was like, I was hoping for 10 plus 10 equals 20. And it was like two guys with a stick. It was like a bigger stick or a sword or something. I forgot what it was. And there's like, instead he got this 10 times 10 is 100. And the guy's got a fucking bazooka. That was so funny.
Was he not his face on the bazooka?
You're right. God.
Yeah, and I liked when Tsukishima was like, well, you know, I don't care about the game because I wasn't the one who knocked the waste principal's toupee off and didn't listen to the captain. He was like, that's your problem. Like, that's not my problem.
But yeah. He was also like, but he also said, like, you know, I could just not try. You guys could just win. Yeah. I don't care about this win or loss. And they were like, you better fucking try your best.
Yeah.
Like none of us like want this. And he's just like, it's just a fucking game, bro. It's just a fucking game, bro. But he actually really cares.
Yeah, and he also, I think, represents those readers too. We're like, just when I was watching his character, it's like, you know, when you're really excited about a series, you're like watching it or reading it, and you're just like so fucking into it. You're like, oh, this is the best shit ever. I'm so excited. And then you have that one buddy who you're like, have you seen this? Oh my god, it's amazing. And they're like, it's just a comic, you know?
Right.
It's okay.
Like, it was all right. I don't see what the big deal is about it.
Yeah. I mean, they're still reading it. They're keeping up with it.
Right.
They're doing all the footwork, but they're like, it's okay. I read better.
Right. Yeah. Of course you have the fucking hipster.
But it's like...
Do that, you friend!
Yeah. And so I think it's really cool they had that sort of character type is so well represented in this series and really well fleshed out, especially later on. Because it's just, there are people like that. And I think that's one of the things that Haikyu does really well is you feel like you almost have in some form known all of these people.
Right. But also like there was like when they were fighting against each other and he like took off his jacket or whatever.
Yeah.
Like he was getting into, the guy was like, you know, was like, I don't care that we lost. Like, it looked like you're getting kind of into it. He's like, whatever, you know, but like, you know, I almost feel like he does that in order to keep himself from getting too disappointed from winning and losing. He like tries to dampen all of the feels so he doesn't feel the suffering of the loss.
Yeah.
Oh my god! And the way that they did, so we're going everywhere. But the way that they talked about Kageyama and his trying to pass, and then eventually no one was there.
Oh yeah,
That
that
was
shit was dumb.
intense, man. And then the other guy
Yeah.
kept on calling him King to put him on tilt. Dude, if I was going against that guy, he would have gotten in my head so hard I wouldn't be able to like perform. You
Yeah.
know, like
But
but
what I love though is they kept repeating the shot of him like passing, and then nobody was there, and they had the black screen and all that, or like the darker background. But what I really liked is then they switched it up on you when Hinata was there, and
right,
took
right. You know, it was just like
Yeah.
put the ball anywhere.
Yeah.
I'll go anywhere, man. Like I love this. This is my shit. Like
yeah. And so I really liked how like visually you really went through that process with him where he was like still really
like he was traumatized.
Yeah, he was still really traumatized. It was really great to see how Hinata just kind of blew past that. And but I think it was either that scene or right around there where he takes the shot, and then the captain is like, "Did you have your eyes closed?
Yeah.
Did you have like? Did
God,
you actually not?"
That was so like good. Oh my god, that was such a great scene. It was just like, yeah, like he said, it was like, who trusts someone 100%? And he was just like, he said, just go all the way. So I was like, I couldn't help because I was looking at the ball, so I decided I just wouldn't look at all.
I thought that was great.
And when he hit it, he was like, oh, idiot! Like, how did that happen? And I like how when the guy's like doing all the calculations and shit or whatever, he's like right there. He has like the little like cursor. It's like where's the little mark? It's like beep 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 beep. It's like just bam. God, it's good. It's so good.
Yeah, that was great. I mean, that was a great cheering moment.
And, I have in my notes on episode 1 after the first episode in all caps it said, "Why do I like sports anime so much?"
I mean, you can really see why it's just exploded in popularity. I mean, Jump really, between Kuroko and Haikyu, they've had like kind of a sports manga golden age. I mean, that's 2 huge hits, one right after the other, or pretty much. Which is kind of funny because it was pretty quiet, at least from what I saw. Although I really shouldn't say that because I also just admitted about 10 minutes ago that I really wasn't into sports anime and didn't really pay attention to it. So who the fuck knows,
Right. Dude, another a thing that I really liked was like the creepy dead eyes from the captain.
Oh yeah.
He just had those like soulless whatever like eyes and stuff. It was just so great. And do you remember the scene when I guess the captain, no, not the captain, but like their manager, that chick, that hasn't really been like.
I think she's the manager.
I think she's maybe said like 5 lines.
Yeah.
But she's always had this like presence. Everyone always and she just doesn't talk to anyone. But like what was it when they like opened the door and like the 2 guys were outside and she walked by and then Tanaka tries flirting with her and then she just blows him off and he's like, oh, she blows me off, it turns me on so much. Yeah. And then like the blonde haired dude gave him like the cat face, like the little and shut the door on. Yeah. Oh my god, that was hilarious. Holy shit. Like just the timing, because I wasn't expecting like any of that. So just like boom, boom, boom.
Out from behind the door. Yeah, he's just like, all right.
He's just like, haha, can't come in.
That was hilarious. I forgot about that.
Oh, God. And like there was also like the little scenes like when Hinata was talking about like everywhere that he trained, and he's like I trained here, I trained in the hallways, and the guy was like, you trained in the hallways? It just sort of like shows that these guys are obsessed. Like, and when they're like when it's dark and the guy's like, it's time to go back, and he's like, there's the lights are on, like we can still train, and everyone's like, oh my god, sorry to like just super rant, but like, do you remember when he was always in like the back and he was always just like returning the things in the back, and he's just like super super exhausted, and then the guy like gave him a spike when he gave him the first spike,
and
and then they're like he's literally off the field behind us, and there's just like, here's a spike, and the guy's like, oh, bam, yeah. And he had all the stars, and was just like so happy. oh my god, you can't help but love it, you know?
I know, yeah. And the other thing I like too is when before they had the big match and they were allowed in the club, Hinata goes after school to the volleyball club and he's looking through like the doors are kind of like cracked and he's watching their stretching exercises and he's doing the stretches outside
outside while watching them. He's like, and then this, and then
yeah. I mean, you just I don't know. You just really that's what I mean before too. Is you really feel like these characters earn every single win that they get. You know what I mean? There was never a point where I was like, this kind of feels like hacks, you know?
right.
No,
it's like why as many hits at the volleyball turns on fire and then like
yeah,
whatever.
Yeah, and a couple of times too, I really liked how when Hinata would be jumping and about to hit the ball, they would change some of the animation and would like get these really thick lines. And it would just look really intense. It kind of reminded me of some stuff from Gurren Lagann where they would change it. It would happen real fast.
Like when he does like the crazy jump and
yeah.
And it's like his body is almost like a shadow is extending off of it or whatever.
Yeah, and there was one quick scene like I think right before he hit the ball at some point, and it really reminded me of some of the Gurren Lagann
I think
type animation where it just looked like it was so intense.
It's like grittier, but like more intense almost.
Yeah, it's grittier. It only lasts for a couple of seconds, and the lines look thicker.
And they're like moving too. It's like kind of
everything's kind of moving, and I really like that because I feel like the animation staff really plays with a couple of different styles to really get stuff home, like the comedy, some of the intensity and the action, stuff like that. You feel everything between that and the sound effects, like you were talking about. You feel like it's real. You don't actually. I don't process that it's animation. You know,
right?
Especially when he did that one score, and I think it was in the first episode, and he went flopping across the court and ran into like one of the barriers or something like that.
Right, to try to return it, and then like when the people were talking like they'd already lost, and he's like, the game's not over. We haven't lost. Yeah. We're 1 point away. We haven't lost. And then like Kageyama was like he's fucking right. Like we haven't won yet. Like they're like, look at the score. He's like, shut the fuck up. It's not over yet. You know, like they just scored an authentic point. Like they just, you know, I've been playing some racquetball with my dad, and it's like that sort of thing. Like both of us are really good at serves, but like our volley game isn't particularly strong, and it's like just in moments like we can go on like a hot streak serve and it can be like 13-2 and then it's 13-13, you know, just on like a really good serves that you can't really return. So it's like it's like the score doesn't matter until the game is over. Yeah, and that was the kind of ferocity that what's the rival's name? Kageyama wanted. And that's what he was trying to demand from his teammates. But I mean, they were good, but they just didn't have that. I don't know. They weren't obsessed.
They weren't obsessed with it. Yeah, so I mean, you kind of, again, you see how these pieces fit together and they have a really great team because he's finally with people who take it as seriously as he does, but also demand that teamwork that he was lacking, you know? So that pretty much takes us. Those were all my notes for almost the first three.
Yeah.
So in episode 3, we get the glasses guy, and that was when I was really feeling like you were seeing how well, because when Tsukushima shows up, you really get to start seeing how well Hinata and Kageyama work together to go up against somebody, and so it starts moving from the two of them fighting and arguing with each other to kind of to learning how to work together. And like you were saying, the scene with like the sticks and the rocket launcher and stuff like that,
right.
Like that's where it really starts building up. And I mean, it just, again, not a lot happens plot wise because episode 3.
Yeah, there really isn't much to talk about, but there's so many really good moments that it just flies through.
Yeah, and it's just really cool to see it come together. And wow, I already talked about
but we've talked about pretty much everything
Another fun thing that I liked was when Kageyama was told to synchronize with Hinata's lack of experience, which of course leads into him hitting the ball and telling him just go full force, and he has his eyes closed. But I just really liked it when the guy was like, "You really need to like bring it down to his level."
What was that? What was that scene when he was talking about like all of the like bad things, sort of like about Hinata, and he says like one good thing is like oh, it's not like I'm a natural genius full of talent or something like that. The guy was like, he didn't say that.
He never said that. And Tanaka's that guy, right? Who like the guy who's got the short haircut, who gets mad, throws his shirt around.
Yeah.
So I liked it when I think he was talking shit to, I think it was Tsukishima, but it was his face was really big on the screen and giving them shit.
Right. And it had like Hinata's little face.
Yeah, Hinata's little face. Be like, yeah.
Like talking shit. Oh my god. And it was like there's also a lot of great things like Tsukishima would say shit that which is just like offensive or whatever, and Tanaka would be like about to like flip it, like stand up for his team, beat the shit out of this new guy, like, hey man, you watch your fucking mouth. And then like I think it was the coach Salamura would always like pull him back and be like, let them get this out, like let them do this in order to build the bond, like it was pretty badass. And even like Sugawara, it's so interesting how like the third years seem like they're not as talented. Mm-hmm. They're not like super crazy, like powerful or whatever, like these like newer people, but they've got so much like experience in tactics and whatever. Yeah. Like even like when Kageyama did like that crazy spike or whatever. Do you remember that? And then their captain was just like, boom, returned it. And he was like, listen, buddy, like,
oh, that's right.
Like, you're good and all, but and I may not have the best offense, but that shit's you're not just going to get easy points like that off of.
Yeah, he was like, I've got a couple years more experience than you do.
Right.
So I've seen more serves. Yeah, I like that, and I also liked. There's a scene where Hinata, after they have the match and they win and all that, he goes to shake Tsukishima's hand, and he's like, "Oh, we should shake after the match to like, so show sportsmanship and all that." And Tsukishima's like, "I'm not interested." And Hinata's like, "No. Really, do you see what happens if they find out you don't have like sportsmanship and like you don't have like supporting your team and stuff like that?" He's like, "They're super scary. Like, let's do this."
And then, but he still wouldn't, and he was like trying to like. He still wouldn't. He was like, "Oh my god!" There's just so many great moments like that.
Yeah,
like it doesn't do it justice though. Talking about it, it's really something that you need to watch.
Yeah, I mean, it really is. You really have to go through it because we've got stuff too where, the ongoing joke of Hinata's kind of nervous stomach. So in the first episode, he's like, he has to go to the bathroom before the matches start because he gets really, and he's like standing up to like those other people on the other team. I think it was
when he comes out of the bathroom.
Yeah, and he's like
shit. But it's like,
yeah, he's like, I'm gonna show you that you're wrong as soon as my stomach comes down, right. As soon as we've got this settled. And then it leads up to the best joke of all, or the best punchline at all, which is at the end of the 5th episode, he barfs all over Tanaka's
right.
The bus.
Didn't they say something like like you're at this thing and like a lot of pressure and stuff like that? And he's like, oh my god.
Yeah.
So he just has been like so nervous, but that's so like true and real. Yeah. I remember I used to like I've done a lot of like performances and stuff like that. I've like spoken at graduations in front of big audiences, and it's like it is like nerve wracking.
Yeah.
And I've had things like where it's like where my stomach is like before like big things, it's like my body's freaking out, but then it usually goes well, but it's like it's rough, man. Nerves are real. Pressure is real.
There, I know.
And
I used to do this.
Portray it well. It's like the new blood is like freaking out.
Yeah, the pressure with that can really get to you because I know I used to do this podcast with this guy about anime and stuff like that, and I knew we just had so many listeners. So before every show, I'd just get like really nervous and my stomach would bother me. It was it's tough. Yeah.
So you've done another podcast before this?
No, this podcast.
Oh, okay. I thought you said there were listeners. No, just kidding.
Yeah. I would say
my basement. I'm old.
Yeah. It's like you check the IP address for all the listeners, and it's just me for like thousands of times. Like,
oh my god.
But yeah, they really capture that well, and like the little moments too. Like again, when Hinata's nervous, he's putting on his jacket on his pants, and then he leaves with Tanaka's pants, and he's like,
goes like,
yeah. And it's just like you just get these moments, and then when stuff like that would happen with the interactions with the other characters and their reactions and stuff, you just get a cast that just it feels they all feel real. I mean, and that's what's really I think really charming about this show is there's not really a point of it where so like Kuroko's Basket has the guy who like nobody notices. So like Kuroko can like disappear and stuff like that.
There aren't really superpower sort of things, right?
It's not really like, you know what I mean? It's like kind of like, oh, that kind of sounds a little anime-ish, you know?
Yeah, I'm still like I'm sort of expecting crazy shit like that to sort of happen eventually.
Yeah,
but like, yeah, like entering the zone and like,
and I mean, yeah, like you said, I mean, that could very well happen. But what's nice about Haikyu is that like again, it feels real. Like it feels
right.
It's just so well grounded and like just so you just get such a sense for the hard work and guts that goes into all this, and I don't know, you just believe in the characters. So I don't know. It's just, but it is really hard to talk about in a different way than like the comedy shows we've done and whatnot, because it's hard to kind of get across how cool it is without showing somebody just an episode and being like, look at this shit, it is awesome.
The best way to give someone a review is say, watch the first episode.
Yeah,
then you'll get it, and you'll either like it or you won't like it. Yeah. But you'll get it if you watch the first episode.
But for sure, I mean, like we both said, neither of us were really big sports anime fans. Or, I mean, for me, sports in general. For me, it's like...
No, I don't go outside, bro. Like, let's not get it twisted. Like...
So, yeah, I mean, I think really great show. And I've already watched portions of later episodes, so I'm definitely going to be checking out the rest. And probably the manga, too, because I've actually not seen any of the manga.
Yeah. Awesome. I'd say like, so when we finish the first season, like I'm ready. I'm willing to ride this thing out. So,
yeah. Whenever I finish the first season, we'll do that.
There will be hopefully future episodes, and one of these days we'll finish Gangsta. So who knows when that'll happen?
Oh God, you had to bring that up. I thought we had like politely agreed to like forget about that. No. I actually have notes here for it.
I will remember that, and I will always remember how terrible Blade of the Immortal animation was.
There's not a Blade of the Immortal anime. You keep saying it, but it's like bro. There's not.
You cannot be unseen.
You won't make me believe. But we should do the Gangsta episode before the full season of this, because the Gangsta
one. Seasons. Didn't we already do a season? Oh, before whatever.
Yeah, but our next show is going to be. What did I say? Our next show is going to be?
No fucking clue.
Dagashi.
The end of
Kashi?
The end of Haikyuu's whatever. Is that what we're doing?
I think we're doing Dagashi Kashi now.
Oh, okay.
That I know for sure. And then we'll get into the rest of Haikyu and Gangsta and stuff later on. But yeah, that I think wraps it up.
Nice. All right. Thanks for tuning in. You guys are awesome.
Catch you next time.
Later.